And as we mentioned, the U.S. president spoke about the shooting in Ferguson a short time ago. CCTV's Jessica Stone is live at the White House with more. And Jessica, the president met with U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder just a few hours before this, and he is conducting an investigation into what happened in Ferguson on civil rights grounds. So did we learn anything new from him on that investigation?
We did. In fact, U.S. President Barack Obama sending the Attorney General to Ferguson, Missouri on Wednesday, where he will get an in-person update on the investigation and where it stands. The Department of Justice of the United States also sending the head of a community policing group to run a town hall style interaction with the community and to really try to address the underlying issues that are causing these violent protests and looting episodes that are putting the larger community in danger. We understand from the U.S. president that he also spoke with Governor Jay Nixon this morning, as well as the two U.S. senators that represent Missouri. You'll recall, of course, that Governor Nixon has just called in the State National Guard, a paramilitary organization, to further quell the violence as he lifted the curfew, which has not appeared to really end anything going on there right now. Have a listen to how the president issued a warning, essentially, about the violence going on to Ferguson and the residents there.
Well, I understand the passions and the anger that arise over the death of Michael Brown. Giving into that anger by looting or carrying guns and even attacking the police only serves to raise tensions and stir chaos. It undermines rather than advancing justice.
And Elaine, the president also specifically addressed these thoughts, this narrative that's emerged about a further militarization, essentially sending in the National Guard, that might not be helpful at a time when the community doesn't really trust anybody in a uniform. He talked about saying that we don't want to see those lines blurred and said he will be the judge of whether or not this approach helps or hurts.
Well, he did make some comments on Ferguson last week. Do these new remarks represent any change in his thinking?
I think they really do. You know, we had a lot more action items during his remarks today, as opposed to the calls for peace and no prejudgment last time. You know, he was asked by one reporter about his personal stake in this, the efforts that this administration has made through an organization called My Brother's Keeper to work on the underlying issues for young black men in particular, giving them mentors, connecting them with community services, and working on education issues for them. He said, you know, I am not in a position as the U.S. president to prejudge the outcome of this. I have to be very careful. I have sent my top attorney of the United States to work on an investigation in this, but I do want the American public to know that I am working on these other issues and that we've seen some success through My Brother's Keeper. So a little bit more of a personal message as well coming from the U.S. president this afternoon.
All right, CCTV's Jessica Stone reporting live from the White House.